Hey everyone, it's Reggie, and welcome to the second episode of Mini Trees. Today I'm going to be talking about Beatdown Hardcore, and I think the band doing the best right now is Pain of Truth. Pain of Truth are a hardcore band from Long Island, formed in 2019. They just released a split 7-inch with Tsunami back in March, and they just finished up a European tour. Their album, Not Through Blood, has a ton of hardcore legends featured on it, with Scott Vogel, Freddie Madball, Justice Tripp, and Shane Morin, to name a few. If you love that old New York hardcore sound through a more modern lens, you are gonna love Pain of Truth. Here's her song, You and Me, with Freddie Madball.
You wanna play your game, the ball's in your court, and you'll keep me score until you're healed. Until or be killed.
Pain of Truth harkened back to that classic 90s hardcore sound, and with how praised and loved that scene was in its heyday, it's no surprise that they are such a well-respected band. They really embody the "if it ain't broke, then don't fix it" motto, especially with this next song called Blood on Your Hands.
You don't have a life in your hands. Fuck! But you have no sense of pride. Pride for inches where you knew that only lies when you died. I have no respect. I have no respect. Because you constantly step where you don't belong.
The Beatdown Hardcore mini-tree has deep roots in the late 80s to early 90s New York tough guy hardcore scene, with bands like Agnostic Front, Sick of It All, and the Cro-Mags. But it drifted towards a heavier sound with a main focus on breakdowns. And this sound was coined with Bulldoz's 1996 album, The Final Beatdown.
This song goes out to Manball and the DMS crew.
This genre really caught on in the late 90s American hardcore scene, with bands like No Retreat, One Second Thought, and Cold as Life putting out some incredible material. After the mid-90s boom of this sound, it gradually began to fade away, with post-hardcore and metalcore shifting the scene spotlight away from Beatdown. However, Trapped Under Ice's 2007 demo triggered a sort of resurgence in the tough guy looking sound. The demo, along with their second album, Big Kiss Goodnight, in 2011, brought a more polished and melodic sound to the genre without sacrificing any of the heavy-hitting parts.
Guilty of the fight, the peace, my woman right. There was no one left to talk to in the middle of the night. Night like it's a man alone, and I'm left in fear. Fear is all I ever know.
The Beatdown sound takes a lot of influence from not only hardcore punk, but a lot of thrash and slam metal elements, as well as a lot of hip-hop elements. The sound is a lot slower and heavier than the classic Minor Threat or Circle Jerks type of hardcore punk, and more bands take influence from slamming death metal in some of their riffs. So much so that bands get called slam bands with hardcore vocals. Since the start of this tree in New York, it's really branched out all over the world, with bands like Chain Fight in Thailand, Clean Slate in the Philippines, Cold Mold from Brazil, and Kenya from Indonesia, to name a few. It's really special to see bands from all over the world and from all different cultures cutting together to unite over this music. Last year, Filipino bands Repetition, Bad Wave Volcall, and Stable released their 3-way split album, and it's just so good. Here's Repetition's Elusive Man.
Pragmatic, heavy-handed, elusive man, always intensified. Doesn't matter how hard you try, but you and I can never divide. We're unpredictable, unpredictable. Look closer, together.
The beatdown scene is one of the most exciting scenes to look at currently, with new bands popping up left and right. Rust, from Hamilton, Ontario, bring a more metal take to the genre with some of the most slamming breakdowns all of hardcore has to offer. Here's their newest single, Last Laugh.
Trust me, no matter what, it's not comes to pass, I get the last laugh.
Cruelty, from Tokyo, Japan, blend doom and death metal into their sound, and that, mixed with the insane breakdowns that are present all over their sound, makes them one of the heaviest bands you will ever hear. Here's their song, Profane Usurpation. And then there's Two Piece from Florida, which is not only the name of the band, the amount of members, the name of their single and album. At least they're consistent. They have some of the dirtiest, face-melting riffs I've ever heard. This band has so much depth for a two-piece, it's pretty insane. The vocals sound a bit more metal than your average hardcore band, but I think it can add to the dirt in their sound and makes them even better. Here's their self-titled song off their self-titled album.
Where you at, motherfucker, is DSBD, drunk and alive. We gotta set a motherfucking straight, fucking straight. Two beats will put them in the fucking place. They fucking place. Ain't no time to retaliate. Motherfucker, gonna try and replicate. We gotta set a motherfucking straight, fucking straight. Two beats will put them in the fucking place.
And if you're looking for some more underground bands, I've got you covered. Ransom Note, from Denver, bring a mix of beatdown and death metal in a really unique way that you need to check out. And they just released their newest single back in May. Ritual Killing, from Washington State, just put out their EP last September, and they also lean more towards the metal side of things, so they are a great mix for more metalheads to get introduced to beatdown and to hardcore. And last but not least, Reality Denied from Niagara are one of the hardest hitting bands you will ever hear, and there's not more I can say about them. That's all I've got for you guys today. Let me know in the comments what you thought about my list, and I want to know from you guys, are there any bands I'm missing or any bands you would like to shout out? And before I leave, I want to give a huge shout out to the guys at Equalizing Distort Radio for their help on this episode. And with all that said, I'll see you in the next one.